If you're watching this, then I'm assuming that you're drawn to a more non-traditional path. Maybe you're creative and your interests look much different than the typical type A lifestyle that's constantly pushed onto us. And there's nothing inherently wrong with a more traditional path if that's what you genuinely want, but if that's not your interest, then you shouldn't feel pressured to take it. For most of my life, I have never felt drawn to the typical traditional path, and this was something that I felt extremely insecure about at one point. I was mainly fearful of people judging me and what others would think of me if I dared to follow what I truly was passionate about and didn't succumb to the system. And these feelings are completely normal and valid. When you see everyone going after this one way of living, it can feel really intimidating to do something different or out of the box or something that's not considered safe in society's eyes. And when others see you doing something out of the box, it's common for them to respond with fear and immediately place all of their projections onto you, which can lead to even more insecurities. One thing that I realized was that I would much rather be happy in doing something that I'm actually passionate about than miserable because I chose a typical path that would make others around me more comfortable. And because we're taught to really value external opinions, especially those of family members or teachers or people that may seem like they have a position that's higher than ours, we allow their feelings to dictate our lives and keep us trapped. It can be really hard because naturally we want to make others around us proud and we want to be seen or perceived in a certain way, but at what cost? And where does this desire to always please everyone and make everyone else proud even come from? Because when it comes down to it, everyone can tell us that they're proud of us and give us all of the validation that we want, but it doesn't ever truly fill the emptiness or lack of internal fulfillment that we may have, especially when we're just living for others' approval. Wanting more for your life than what's typically seen is a totally valid desire, and I don't think that we came here to just play it safe and ignore our inner callings. And this is something that tends to get forgotten as we get caught up in this world. But I've realized that the most empowering thing that we can do is really tune out the outside noise, go within and ask ourselves what it is that we truly want out of this life and find confidence within that. Because truthfully, we don't deserve to settle for a life that may look good on paper but feels draining and inauthentic. Hello, beautiful people. I honestly cannot believe that I haven't talked about this topic on here yet, considering the fact that navigating a non-traditional path is a huge part of my life. It literally is my life. And within the past couple of years, I've really been finding a lot more confidence in my path that doesn't look like the average person's, and just in myself in general. My biggest struggle when it came to finding confidence within my own unique path and my desires was always other people's opinions and other people's judgments. I cared way too much about how people would perceive me and perceive my life if I did take the risks and not do this typical traditional path that everyone kind of is programmed to believe is the only way. And I think that this is a really common thing. A lot of us care way too much about people's opinions. It really holds us back from living out our desires and from confidently moving forward in our path and doing the things that we know are going to make us feel fulfilled deep inside. And what I realized about other people's opinions and projections is that, first of all, they are just that. Second of all, you can't really blame them because we are literally programmed from day one to believe that there is only one path to success and that the traditional path is guaranteed to make you successful and make you happy, and that you need to slave away at some job for the rest of your life or go to this university and do this and that. Most people genuinely do not realize that there is another way, that there are multiple other ways. Having that perspective on other people's opinions really shifted the way that I related to them, because I realized that people are only coming from the space that they're at within themselves. Another person's projection or opinion on me and how I should live my life is not for me, because we literally all have different paths. And I just finally came to the conclusion that if someone else's life is not the life that I want, then their advice is not for me. I can let other people have their opinions. It's not about completely getting rid of other people's projections and opinions and finding a way to avoid them, because it's going to happen inevitably. People are going to have their thoughts and their opinions, but I don't have to let it make me feel so insecure and really let it hinder me from living the life that my soul is calling me to live. And I can allow people to say whatever they want and still stay grounded in what I know that I want for myself and in the life that I know I want to live. And understanding that other people's opinions on my life and my path really have nothing to do with me and just have more to do with their own worldview, which is totally fine, has really given me a different perspective and allowed me to feel a lot more confident in myself and in what I want. Something that I've actually noticed is in the past, when people would ask me about my life, what I'm doing with my life, whatever it is, if it was people in my family or certain other figures, I used to be so insecure and so shaky when answering that question, because I knew that what I wanted was not what they were probably expecting of me. And I was so afraid of them judging me, so I did not speak with confidence at all. You could tell I had just had this energy of insecurity and unsureness. And that almost created more space for unsolicited advice from other people and would make me feel even more insecure. Whereas now I've really been working on speaking with confidence when people ask me what I want to do with my life and when people ask me about my path. And I've noticed a huge difference, you guys. Like now when people ask me that question, I really try my best to be present and just speak with confidence. And I've noticed that people respect you a lot more when you have this energy of confidence, even if they may not agree with you, even if they may not agree with your path. When you speak your desires with this sense of confidence, people almost have no other choice but to respect you and respect it. And they may have their opinions internally, but you kind of put up this shield around you that repels the unsolicited advice. I've noticed a significant decrease in the amount of unsolicited advice on my life and on my path just by really moving with a lot more confidence within it. And when I say advice, I think I mean more projections than advice, because there is a difference between like actual helpful advice and then projections where people are coming from fear and all of that type of stuff. So it's good to know that difference. But I say that to kind of emphasize the importance of having this sense of confidence and really like believing in yourself. I know it sounds corny. You hear people tell you all the time, believe in yourself, but we deserve to follow what our heart is truly calling us to do and believe in that, even if it looks different than what most people are doing and what we are literally indoctrinated to think we're supposed to do with our lives. We literally get to create our own lives. Our lives are in our hands, and a lot of us don't realize we have that choice to take back our lives and do what we really want to do and do something different and take risks and not follow this system that just ends up leaving people not feeling fulfilled and leaving people as slaves to the system. And we know how that path ends. We know how that goes. So if we know we don't want that, then why should we succumb to it just because of other people's thoughts and projections and opinions? And I think realizing that, where I was like, I had this moment where I was like, I am not going to live to make other people comfortable. Too many of us really value external opinions and external validation way too much, to the point where we sacrifice our own happiness, our own joy, our own peace, and our own desires. And that's not it, y'all. That's not it. That's not a way to live. And I've seen so many people do that, and they're not happy. They're not free. They're not living in alignment with themselves and with what they truly want. And I realized that I didn't want to do that. And none of us deserve to do that. Whenever someone would project onto me or give me some type of advice, I also started to ask myself if that person was genuinely happy in their lives, like really happy from within, not externally happy like it seems like they are, but really they're not. And if they were genuinely happy from within, then great. They probably got something valuable for me to listen to and absorb. But if they weren't, then it really allowed me to see a bird's eye view of the situation and realize I don't have to take this person's words to heart and completely absorb them and allow them to make me feel insecure. You know, respectfully, that advice is not for me. And also, if someone else was doing this traditional path that I knew I don't want to be on, then I also had to realize that, yeah, I don't need to take that advice so seriously or take that as an attack on me in my life, because it really isn't. Another thing that's really been helping me find more confidence within my unique path is that it is just exactly that. And we all have something unique to offer. I have something unique to offer. You have something very unique to offer and special to offer to the world. And that's a beautiful thing. And our paths shouldn't all look the same. And just because what we're wanting looks different than what we usually see doesn't mean that we have to feel this sense of insecurity. It seems scary at first, right? When you're drawn to something that's different and you kind of don't know where the path is fully leading you to. But I think that's what the beauty is about it, you know? And following your heart, following your own unique calling inspires others to do the same and shows others that there is another way to live, that you do not have to succumb to this system, work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life, or go to school and major in something you really don't care about. Like, you don't have to do that. And when you walk in your path confidently, it inspires others to do so, and it creates this beautiful space for us to all move confidently together. And that's a beautiful thing too. Like, really thinking about it in that way genuinely gives me more confidence and inspires me to continue to go on this non-traditional path. When we free ourselves, we assist in the liberation of all, in the liberation of everyone else. So that is something that also keeps me going as well and inspires me to continue being of service in the unique ways that are calling me to do so. This life is way too precious to be living for other people and to go on a path that you know you really don't want, but you're doing it because other people say you should and because this is the only way and this and that. Like, life is way too precious. Take advantage of this life and live it to the fullest and continue following what your heart is calling you to. And that is my message that I really wanted to get out. I know so many people have struggled with the same things that I have, and so many people, especially now, are really waking up to the fact that there are other ways to live. And we're all just figuring it out together too, navigating these different paths. But I just wanted to share some things I've learned as I've been on this path myself. So I hope that you guys watching found any of this helpful, and I'm sending you so much love and wishing you abundance and happiness on your unique path, and that you really find confidence from within whatever you want to do, and go after that. And I believe in you, and believe in yourself. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I will be signing off here. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video the whole way through and supporting me, supporting my channel. I really appreciate every single one of you that have watched this video. And continue to break down the disempowering things that you've been programmed to believe, that we've all been programmed to believe, and continue to find yourself and find fulfillment from within. And that's what I got for you today. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.